The Montreal Canadiens season's over, but we are just getting started as the World Hockey Championships are just 8 days away. There are multiple Montreal Canadiens that are likely to make appearances, including Juraj Slafkovsky, Oliver Kapanen, Lane Hutson, and more. We have to dive into the exact reports surrounding these guys and what this means for our boys going forward, because honestly, we saw what happened last year. This has a big implication on what happens for Montreal next season, but we also have to dive into the draft as things are all but exactly confirmed for where the Montreal Canadiens will draft, barring some incredibly low odds. We got to dive into all that, share it all with you on this episode of Habs Digest. And Jesse, we're going to start right off by reminding everyone that there is a giveaway. If you like this video, comment what you want for $50 or less from the Habs store and subscribe to the channel. One random winner who comments from here to Sunday will be selected and announced on Monday. I know you guys love to be here. You guys love free stuff. I love giving it out, Jesse. It's a great thing. It's a giving community. Give back to the people that are given to us. And speaking of taking things, the Montreal Canadiens, this draft, oh boy, I am ready for this, Jesse. Now that we know, again, barring Calgary having some incredibly low 1% odds of moving from 16 to 6 in the draft lottery Monday, in which case we'd get Florida's pick instead. This is Montreal's draft selection board for this season, Jesse. 12 draft picks. How are you feeling heading into this draft? I mean, it's a bit early to say whether we'll actually pick with all these or trade some away in some big trade, but regardless, looking at the plethora of draft picks we have, I cannot help but be incredibly excited.
And I mean, Martin St. Louis summed it up so right, just recently saying that the pain that this team is feeling right now, and its fans and us, is nothing compared to the joy that this team is going to be feeling very soon. The draft obviously being a big part of that when we're looking at big reason to smile. 12 picks, can you believe it? On top of what we've already brought in, being such a young playoff team, what we could really get. We know our drafting has been phenomenal of late. We have been able to get gems throughout the rounds here. But Josh, what is so exciting besides, obviously the draft lottery, which is coming up just in a couple days to see where Calgary is going to end up. Obviously, we know that right now for the Montreal Canadiens, there's a very good chance that they're going to trade one or two of these picks, kind of depending in that first round to make that big splash. Kent Hughes, he knows his time. He got to see it. Seeing is believing. And I think he's really going to be motivated now to really make that big move. And obviously, we have that ammunition to make it happen as well.
Yeah, very soon. We're already seeing, Jesse, everyone coming out with our wish list for this offseason. And hey, we'll be talking about a lot of different names with turmoil going on in Pittsburgh, New York Islanders, those two teams. There's a lot of players who might want from there. Free agents that might be returning, might not be, some crazy stuff. But you're right. Look, this first round, got to remind people, right there in the teens, Caufield drafted in the teens, Cayden, Guhle drafted in the teens, even a guy like Newhook, don't forget, Lane Hutson, second round, Michael Hage, 21. These two picks, if Montreal does want to pick with them, could be incredible. I'm gonna be honest, at this point, Jesse, I only know a very surface level knowledge of a lot of the guys at this point, but that's what this offseason is time to do. We're gonna be cracking down of these guys here. If we don't trade the picks, who would you want to pick around this range in 16 and 17? Or maybe if you do want to trade them, who'd you want to trade them for? That's what we're talking about, Jesse. I can't wait to get into this trade season, this offseason. It's the most exciting time of year minus the playoffs, if you ask me. It's playoffs, bar none, is the best, but this is the time where this team is making that step for the future. But you know what? There's still some guys, Jesse, who are ready to play right now. And we got to talk about the World Hockey Championships. It's 8 days away. And last season, you guys loved the World Hockey Championship content. We love giving it. And we got to get into Slav, because I know a lot of Slovakian fans are ready for that. But we got to open with a couple other guys. How you feeling about this, Jesse? We forgot to show this last night. Didn't quite have the time. But Cam Robinson from Elite Prospects said, don't be surprised to see Lane Hutson join his brother on Team USA for the World Hockey Championships. The team has seemingly held a spot for him. Team USA is looking really good for this, Jesse. So is Team Canada. But again, starting with Lane, I would love to see some of our guys just keep going, keep grinding, and represent their country just to get some more Habs hockey.
Get ready to see a lot more of this. Lane Hutson, Team USA, jersey sweater, right? The secret is out of the bag at this point in time. They know how much he's really going to be able to help that group. And with a guy like Lane Hutson, who obviously loves the game so much, you got to feel like there is a very strong chance that he's going to be continuing to play, which is that much better for the Montreal Canadiens right now. Just the more experience that he can really get playing against NHL level competition is obviously going to be phenomenal for this team going forward. There's obviously rumors of Cole Caufield, who's been really good. We had all of our guys really show out last year, which is so exciting, right? So Cole Caufield, we'll see Do you think, Josh, and like our viewers, I'm curious to know, like with Cole Caufield too and Team USA, like, do you think they go like to prove a point of the fact that they weren't selected for the Olympics, despite both of them having amazing seasons? Like, do you think they go because of that, or what's your take on that?
That's tough. Like, that Four Nations tournament was great. And like, again, we're talking Olympics, we're talking about a lot of stuff going forward. It's like, wouldn't surprise me. Now, again, at this point, Jesse, we'll learn tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. is the end of season media. Like, we're going to learn about some injuries, stuff like that. We'll see if Lane Hutson, Cole Caufield were playing through anything. But if they're healthy, I think you're right. I think they might even go to prove a point. Again, like we look at last year. Again, we'll talk about Slaf in a minute. But Caufield, 4 goals, 4 assists in 8 games for Team USA. And he was even like kind of snubbed on those lines until he started producing and moved up. And look at what he did, right? And he had some amazing games for Team USA. And Lane Hutson, look, he showed out at different international tournaments before. But at the grand stage World Hockey Championships, I think he can do something great. I'm excited to see the potential for these two guys, but it's not just them. There's another guy I want to talk about. Well, Nick Suzuki too, Jesse. Maybe we'll just spend a little bit of time on this again. We don't know if he's injured. This is Team Canada's roster as of yesterday. Look, looking at this roster with guys like, look, no slander to them, guys like Will Cooley, Celebrini, Forster, Barrett Hayton. It's like, if Suzuki wants a spot, I'm sure he can get it. What do you think the odds are Suzuki goes to this tournament? I feel like he might just take the opportunity to rest, but hey, he's a competitive guy, and if his boys are going to the tournament, it'd be nice to see him there too, provided that he's healthy.
50-50. For sure that Nick Suzuki is a guy that first he puts that Montreal Canadiens first above all else. That's his primary responsibility. And obviously when you're playing 82 games in the NHL, there's no way that he's kind of healthy, obviously, throughout all these games. Like many players for the Montreal Canadiens, they were soldiers. They were playing while injured. So he kind of knows for next season too, and our aspirations of getting to the playoffs again, that having him healthy. And of course, he wants to continue that Ironman streak. So he's maybe a player that I'm maybe a little bit more hesitant on. That being said, that same point, like with Caufield, in terms of them positioning themselves for the Olympics, kind of going forward for next year and being a part of that, you have to feel like this is a great audition. And if they feel like maybe they were on the outs for the Four Nations, you want to take those opportunities as they're coming up. So, maybe capitalizing on that great play, which we know he's capable of. That being said, either way, I think we'll support his decision.
Yeah, there's going to be so many guys, and like, this is just scratching the surface. There's 2 more guys we got to talk about, but you're right. Like, if Suzuki wants, look, he had an incredible second half to prove all the doubters wrong on that Team Canada board of whoever picked that team. But hey, you know what? That's okay. We move forward. We know what we have in Nick Suzuki. We don't need the international team to pat our backs and say, oh, yes, he's good. We know what we got. But 2 more guys, Jesse. We're going to get to Slaf in a second. First guy, though, look, his performance last year, I'm just saying, as Nicolas Cloutier outlines here, though, Oliver Kapanen could very well be invited back. Don't forget, 6 goals in 8 games at the World Championships last year, Jesse, was the leading goal scorer for a good chunk of that tournament before I think he was surpassed right at the end, but he was unbelievable. But as Nicolas Cloutier says, we got 2 options. Either Kapanen can go down to Laval for their playoff rush right now, where they are looking unbelievable. A big 3-2 win, 2 goals from Sean Farrell, 1 from Owen Beck, Jacob Fowler backstopping them. Primeau's probably going right back down there to take over that starting spot, but who knows? Fowler had a good game. Or Kapanen can go to the World Championships. Look, I know when we're talking Kapanen, it's tough to say. They're both very valuable things to European players. A lot of the time representing your country, there is no bigger honor, especially with how he played last year. Either way, I'm cool with it, but it's nice to see that even a guy like Oliver Kapanen has some incredible options now that his season's over, after even getting in a couple playoff games.
For sure. And it's a tough decision because you're really helping the organization if he's able to go down to Laval and really help them. And they're really looking to kind of win it all. So it's a strong team. So there can be some motivation there. I would have to say I'm leaning more on the side of him playing internationally, just slightly. Maybe if it's more a little bit of his choice and all this, because he just wants to keep the good times rolling. Like, he has had so much success at this tournament. He obviously loves representing his country. So we'll be very interested to see how he plays out, but I would not be surprised at all to see him put on that sweater for Team Finland.
Team Finland would be so cool. Hey, Lion A's hurt, so he probably won't be going. Armia, who knows? He's maybe hurt too, but it'd be really cool. But yeah, absolutely. And right now, like, looking at these guys, Jesse, looking at his performance last year, looking at Caufield and Slafkovsky's performance last year, our boys show up when it matters most on the grand stage. Saw it in the playoffs, saw it at the World Hockey Championships, and now it's time to talk about our boy Slaf. Look, he's in the thumbnail. We're talking about him for a reason. The World Hockey Championships last year, I mean, Slav kind of broke out. I mean, no, he didn't have that same kind of goal scoring performance he had at the Olympics before getting drafted, that insane goal per game pace he had, but he had an assist per game at the World Hockey Championships last year. And after having a career best season, Jesse, with 51 points in 79 games and looking like an absolute beast in the playoffs, I'm excited to see what he can do. I mean, look, I know he's had a bit of beef with Team Slovakia over there, and there's been some documented stuff on that front, but like a lot of Slovakians are saying, like, Slafkovsky's the most popular player over there. If they don't even extend him an invite, that's going to be bad for Team Slovakia hockey. First of all, Slovakians, let us know what you think about Slafkovsky heading to this tournament. If he should, if he shouldn't. But Jesse, if he does, I mean, honestly, this is going to be one of the most fun things again, to watch how second half Slav turns into playoff Slav and how that goes to the international Slav that we already know is a beast. This is maybe the most exciting thing for me.
Yeah, Slav is going to put on that sweater for Slovak at the end of the day. You know that he loves representing his country, and every single time he has been so good, whether it's first the Olympics, which was a big reason of getting drafted first overall, put him on the map. Then obviously with Slovakia last year, then we're seeing kind of in the playoffs again, like whenever the games really matter, when it gets more into like this tournament must win type of settings, like Slafkovsky just turns it on to another level, whether that's the Montreal Canadiens, Team Slovakia, which he loves so much. It's just always a pleasure just seeing him have the opportunity to be able to rep his country there. So definitely hoping that he does do that. And again, like many other players, I would say it's a strong possibility. Like, we're not telling you to gamble here on Habs Digest, but a very safe bet.
Oh, man. Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to see when these are officially announced. Again, the tournament starts next Friday. Like, it's so close. It doesn't stop. Draft Lottery Monday. We'll get confirmation on the Calgary pick. The draft is coming up in just, a month and a half, almost 2 months away, I guess. And then the World Hockey Championship. There's going to be talk of trades. So much going on. I hope you guys stick along for the ride, because that'll do it for this episode of Habs Digest. But if you want to stay up to date literally every single day, hit the free subscribe button down below. Join the giveaway. We'd love to have you here all summer long. I'm Josh Gosse, my co-host Jesse Poirier. We'll catch you in the next one.